Episode 9, Advanced Therapies to Lower Systemic Inflammation. Hey, it is Adam Sewell, MD. In the last episode, we talked about the foundational anti-inflammatory therapies, omega-3 fatty acids and curcumin, and why they form the base of almost every biological age reversal protocol. In this episode, we are going deeper. We are going to talk about the advanced tools that help reduce chronic inflammation at the molecular level. These tools are fasting, anti-inflammatory peptides such as thymosin alpha-1 and KPV, sleep regulation strategies, and placenta-derived protein arrays, which contain natural cytokines and microRNA that shift tissue signaling away from inflammation and toward repair. These are the therapies that make the biggest difference in patients who are inflamed, fatigued, and stuck. They also prepare the body for regeneration, senolytics, and hormone optimization later on. Let us begin. Section 1. Fasting as an anti-inflammatory tool. Fasting is one of the most powerful ways to lower inflammation because it shuts down many of the metabolic and molecular triggers of chronic inflammatory signaling. When you fast, insulin drops, glucose variability stabilizes, and the body shifts out of the fed, growth-oriented state and into a repair-oriented state. One of the key mechanisms behind this shift is activation of AMP-activated protein kinase. This enzyme senses low energy states inside the cell. When AMP-activated protein kinase increases, inflammatory pathways such as nuclear factor kappa B decrease. The cell becomes less inflammatory and more resilient. Fasting also increases autophagy. Autophagy is the process by which the cell clears damaged proteins, misfolded structures, and early-stage dysfunctional organelles. Autophagy reduces intracellular stress and prevents those stress signals from triggering inflammatory cascades. This reduces the burden on the immune system. In addition, fasting improves gut barrier health. When the intestinal lining is not constantly exposed to food, especially processed foods, the mucosa gets a chance to repair itself. This reduces translocation of lipopolysaccharide, which is one of the strongest triggers of chronic inflammation in modern humans. Clinically, most of the anti-inflammatory benefit of fasting comes from simple, sustainable fasting cycles. A 13 to 16 hour overnight fast is enough to shift metabolic signaling significantly. Longer fasts can be useful in specific situations, but they are not required for inflammation control. Patients often report improved clarity, reduced bloating, less joint stiffness, and better energy once fasting becomes a regular rhythm. Section 2. Anti-inflammatory peptides. Now let us talk about peptides, which are some of the strongest targeted anti-inflammatory tools available in functional and longevity medicine. Two of the most effective peptides for lowering inflammation are thymosin alpha-1 and KPV. Thymosin alpha-1 is a naturally occurring peptide that modulates immune function. It reduces excessive inflammatory signaling while strengthening appropriate immune responses. It enhances T-cell function, increases natural killer cell activity, and helps the body shift from chronic immune activation to balanced immune readiness. Thymosin alpha-1 has been studied in multiple inflammatory and infectious conditions. It reduces chronic inflammation by lowering interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, increasing regulatory T-cell activity, and normalizing toll-like receptor signaling. These are all important aging pathways. Typical dosing for thymosin alpha-1 ranges from 1.5 milligrams to 3 milligrams given subcutaneously once or twice per week. Dosing can be adjusted based on inflammatory burden and immune function. It is generally safe, but in patients with autoimmune disease, dosing must be tailored because immune modulation can shift immune balance in unpredictable ways. However, most autoimmune patients respond well when dosing is conservative and monitored. Now let us talk about KPV. KPV is a peptide fragment of alpha-melanocyte stimulating hormone. KPV stands for lysine proline valine. This small peptide has significant anti-inflammatory effects, especially in the gut and in systemic inflammatory conditions. KPV inhibits nuclear factor kappa B activation, reduces interleukin-1 beta, and decreases the inflammatory signals that drive many gastrointestinal and systemic inflammatory diseases. It is extremely useful in patients with leaky gut, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, chronic pain disorders, and any clinical picture that includes both inflammation and intestinal dysfunction. KPV is usually dosed at 250 micrograms to 500 micrograms once or twice daily, depending on severity. KPV is one of the safest anti-inflammatory peptides we have. Side effects are rare and mild. It does not suppress the immune system. Instead, it lowers excessive inflammatory signaling while preserving normal immune function. Section 3. Sleep regulation as inflammation control. Sleep is one of the strongest regulators of inflammatory biology, and it is one of the most overlooked. When patients sleep poorly, inflammatory markers rise. When sleep improves, inflammation drops. During deep sleep, the brain and body enter a state of repair. Growth hormone peaks, melatonin rises, the glymphatic system clears metabolic waste from the brain, the immune system recalibrates. When sleep is disrupted, all of these processes become dysregulated. Even a single night of restricted sleep can increase nuclear factor kappa B activation in immune cells, increase cortisol, and raise inflammatory cytokines. Chronic sleep disruption creates a baseline inflammatory tone that accelerates biological aging. Patients who do not sleep well often plateau in their longevity programs. Their mitochondria do not repair fully. Their senescent cell burden stays high. Their hormones do not function optimally. Their cognition suffers. This is why optimizing sleep is one of the pillars of inflammation control. The goal is not just to get more sleep. The goal is to improve sleep architecture, especially deep sleep. Interventions may include magnesium threonate, low-dose melatonin in older adults who no longer produce adequate amounts, light exposure regulation in the morning, and minimizing blue light at night. Herbs such as valerian, lemon balm, and chamomile can help. Stress management techniques such as breath work and cognitive relaxation also improve sleep-driven inflammation control. When sleep improves, patients often report reduced joint stiffness, better mood, more stable energy, faster recovery from workouts, and improved cognitive clarity. Section 4. Placenta-derived protein arrays. Now let us talk about one of the most advanced anti-inflammatory tools available in regenerative medicine. Placenta-derived protein arrays are a class of biologic extracted from placental tissue. They contain cytokines, growth factors, chemokines, and microRNA that regulate inflammation and promote repair. They contain no cells and no DNA, which increases their safety. Placenta-derived protein arrays have a unique ability to shift inflammatory signaling from a pro-inflammatory pattern to a regenerative and homeostatic pattern. They downregulate nuclear factor kappa B, interleukin-1 beta, tumor necrosis factor alpha, and other inflammatory mediators. They upregulate anti-inflammatory and pro-repair signals such as interleukin-10, growth differentiation factor 11, fibroblast growth factor 2, and transforming growth factor beta-3. They also contain microRNA that alter gene expression inside inflamed tissues, supporting resolution and repair. Clinically, placenta-derived protein arrays can be used systemically through intramuscular or subcutaneous injections, or used locally for joint, tendon, nerve, and soft tissue problems. For systemic inflammation, dosing often ranges from 2 milliliters to 10 milliliters per treatment, depending on the preparation and the severity of inflammation. Patients with chronic inflammation often feel better within days. They report reduced joint and muscle pain, improved mobility, better energy, and a general sense of reduced internal stress. Placenta-derived protein arrays are extremely helpful in patients who have persistent inflammation despite lifestyle and supplement interventions. They are also excellent for preparing tissues for regenerative treatments, such as platelet-rich plasma or hyaluronic acid. Safety is generally high because these products do not contain living cells or DNA. The main contraindication is active infection at the injection site or systemic infection, in which case treatment should be delayed. Section 5. How these treatments work together. Fasting reduces inflammatory triggers from the gut and metabolic pathways. Peptides modulate immune balance and reduce inflammatory cytokines. Sleep resets the hormonal and neurological systems that regulate inflammation. Placenta-derived protein arrays shift the tissue environment toward regeneration. This creates a synergistic anti-inflammatory effect across multiple systems. When these therapies are layered on top of omega-3s, curcumin, and mitochondrial support, you get a powerful reduction in background inflammatory tone. Clinically, this translates into patients feeling younger, moving better, sleeping deeper, thinking more clearly, and recovering faster. On the biomarker side, you see reductions in high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, reductions in fibrinogen, improvements in insulin sensitivity, and lower epigenetic age over time. Section 6, Closing and what comes next. To recap, advanced tools for lowering inflammaging include fasting, anti-inflammatory peptides such as thymosin alpha-1 and KPV, sleep optimization, and placenta-derived protein arrays. These therapies reduce inflammation at the molecular level and create a biological environment that supports mitochondrial repair, senolytic clearing, hormone optimization, and tissue regeneration. In the next episode, we will continue the inflammation series by bringing everything together and showing you how to build a coordinated anti-inflammatory protocol for patients. You will learn how to sequence these therapies, how to adjust them based on lab markers, and how they fit into the broader biological age reversal roadmap. This is Adam Sewell, MD. I will see you in episode 10.